SVP said you were going to show up, then the person that's throwing the party expects to see you at the party. Ain't nobody caught me yet. You accepted the invitation. You said, if you call, I'm coming. And yet, let's see what happens in the text. The man has sent out the invitations. They said they were coming. That's what verse 16 is talking about. A certain man made a great supper, and he bade. And when the word bade just means that he had already sent out the invitation for them to come. He gave it to many. And now he sends his servant at supper time to tell them, all them folks who said they were coming, all them folks that had RSVP'd, he said, now go tell them supper ready. Supper is ready. Come on. It's ready. I got everything that you're going to need here at the supper. All you got to do is show up like you said you would. I made sure I got everything you like. Not only do I have everything you like, but I got everything you need. I prepared the ultimate banquet just for you. You said you were coming. I made a special dish just for you because you told me you were going to show up to the banquet. I've got everything you need ready for you because you RSVP'd and told me you were coming, and I wanted to make sure I had what you needed when you got here. Said, I got this thing hooked up. And I got this hooked up. I got just what you need. Look at somebody and say, he got just what you need. I prepared a supper for you. I prepared a supper for you. There's a whole lot of folk coming, but I prepared a supper just for you because you told me you were coming to the dinner. It's in the text. It's in the text. He said, tell them it's ready. And when he told them it was ready, the text says, and they all with one consent to begin to make excuses. No, wait. I sent you an invitation. Told you I was going to have a supper. I was going to have a banquet. I asked you to let me know for sure if you were coming. And I did that because I wanted to make sure I had what you needed. And now I tell you to come, and you got Can I help somebody in here? God said, I sent you out an invitation. You accepted the invitation. I prepare supper for you every Wednesday, every Friday, every Sunday. I got supper for you. I got just what you need, not just what you want, but I got just what you need. You told me that you were coming whenever I call, and now I call, and now you got. Oh, ain't gonna be some happy folks in a minute. He says, listen, did you or did you not tell me you were gonna show up? This text is not talking about a one-time supper. But Jesus is trying to inform them that follow him that if you take the invitation, if you accept the invitation, I expect you to show up every time I call. But look at it. He don't just call. He says, I got something especially for you. I know what you need. Supper is ready. And they all, at one time, start making excuses. Well, let's look at some of these excuses. The first one said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must go and see it. Now, help me if you can. Help me if you can. I even tried to figure this out. You know, I tried to figure this out. The man say he done bought some ground that he ain't never saw. He did not say, I'm going to see some ground so that I can buy it. He said, I done already bought this ground. And now I got to go and see it. Now, I may be confused myself, but don't that sound a little backwards? You gonna send somebody your money for some ground. Oh, well, let me. I got some land in the Everglades that I want to sell you. You ain't got to come look at it. Just send me $150,000. And then after you send me the money, then you can come on down and take a look. How many folks in here would do that? But this person says the reason I cannot fulfill my obligation, the reason I cannot come where I said I was going to come, is because I bought some land and I need to go and see it. And when I was studying, there's some theologians that try to justify this, who said what it really meant was that he had bought it, he had seen it before, but he had to be there for the final sale. That ain't what he said. He didn't say nothing about no final sale. He just said, I bought. Okay, well, maybe I need to bring it a little closer. God sends out the call. Supper is ready. You send back the response, I know I'm supposed to be there, but I can't come because I bought something I ain't never seen before. Sound like a good excuse? I don't know, maybe, depending on who you're talking to. And I hold conversations with a lot of people, and I was holding conversations with somebody one time, and we got to come to an agreement on one thing, that some stuff that people say really makes sense to them. It may not make no sense to nobody else, but whoever said this really thought this was a good excuse to sin why he couldn't. He ain't stopped to think how stupid it sounds. Because really now, come on, watch this. Be careful what you send back. There used to be a saying, it's better to keep your mouth shut and thought retarded than to open up your mouth and remove all doubts. Now, if somebody might have thought he was dumb, when he sends back this reply, we know for a fact now this is a real dummy. But he thought it was a good excuse. He thought it was. Another man says, this must be this guy's brother. They got to be in the same family. Another guy says, I bought not one yoke of oxen, but I bought 5 yokes of oxen. That means I got 10 of them. I done bought 10 oxen, and I got to go prove them. In other words, he says, I done bought 10 oxen, and I got to see if they can walk. I bought 10 oxen, I got to see if I put a yoke on them, if they can pull the plow. I got to prove them. I got to prove that the oxen I bought ain't dead. They ain't crippled. They ain't lame. I bought them though. I got 10 of them. Now I need to find out if they even alive. I got to prove them. I see if they can pull. How many of y'all going out and buy a car and ain't got in to see if it even run? Well, I shouldn't say this. But I had a friend of mine that did something that made no sense to me, but it made a whole lot of sense to him. He did. He took a perfectly good car. He drove to a man's house, traded his perfectly good running car for a car that was wrecked and he had to tow home. And when I asked him, I said, hold it, help me with this. You drove your car. Nothing wrong with it. You drove your car, no nicks, no bangs, no dents. The engine run. You drove your car to a man's house. Got out of your car, gave him your keys to the car that was running and looking good, and called a tow truck to come pick up this car that he given you in trade for your car that you drove up in, and you towed this back. You know what he told me? This car is worth more than my car. What do you mean? This car is a very expensive car. I don't care what it is, it ain't running. It ain't worth one thin dime to me if I can't get in it, turn the key, put it in gear, and pull off. And you are convinced that because of its, well, when I get it fixed.